recording available for everybody after the meeting. It takes a while to get it converted over to the right format and then put out onto our YouTube channel. As soon as I have it out there, I'll send the link for everybody. So this is the it's Thursday, April 4th. This is the Lawrence Douglas County Data Mapping and Gap Analysis conference call. Go ahead, Connie.
Okay. So let's rewind and let's go back over to the information that you had set us up in the cloud with the spreadsheets. What we do is we bring them into our format by pulling our data tables and looking at yours, and we match them back and forth, kind of like an eye for an eye, or what we may need to do with them as far as massaging some of the data or maybe create some custom fields for you. So here in the front, I do have a key going on, just try to make it a little bit easier to follow through. In each heading color on each separate worksheet. So for example, if we're just going to click over here real quick. We have the yellow and the blue. The yellow would be the information, data, the field names, and notes that are coming in from what you had given us. And the blue is where we do all the magic and match them to our database tables, fields, and we also add notes. So that's going to be on the top of every page, and there'll also be some other to distinguish what columns in that are too. But you'll see that as we go through it. And then down here, I have the Excel workbook sheet tab color keys. And how I did that, down along the bottom here, kind of did a red with, for example, for the letter template and your location disposal that you had sent to us. We have no data conversion that will be performed on those tables. So anything you see in red down here at the bottom, no data conversion will be performed. The green, we went through that, and the green ones were already reviewed. I had matched them up. My coworker and I had matched them up, and we do not currently need any more information at this time, unless if you all see that there's something that may differ between our information and your information. If they're like, hey, wait, that should be this actually. That came up the other day too with the other county. And the yellow or the orange color, it's kind of a warning sign. This one needs attention. So these are ones that we have some questions on. Not everything will be filled out, but we will have some questions on these when we go through these. So we kind of want to hit these first. I put them up front here. And then the green, we could, briefly go over. You also will get a copy of this. And then finally, the purple, ran out of colors there. This is just for our use. There's really no need to review it. If you want to look at it, you can. It might be just some random notes from us that for our internal use, but we just keep it all together on the workbook here. So does anybody have any questions so far? Because I'm going to just move ahead to all of the orange need attention tabs. Okay, so sounds good. Okay. All right, moving forward. So here we're going to go now. Jeff Gates, who is my team member, he went over these. He did this part of it. Well, we worked on together, but he did this part. So I'm going to ask Jeff if he has any, what his questions were on here, and then we could get the feedback from you guys, and then we can document it here on the sheet and save it as well. So Jeff, what was, there was a couple of questions I know we did have as a team working together. Did you want to bring them up right now to clear them up for us?
The only question I see, the approval date, that's on the cereal malt beverage. What is that considered, the permit date?
Yeah, the date of the inspection, or the
Okay.
So when we finalize our report, that's the approval date.
Oh, okay.
Typically, it's the same day.
Okay. Can we consider that the permitting date? They got approved inspection and it's permitted.
Yes.
Okay.
I would
So
consider.
Connie, just remove the question marks next to permit date in the second column, so that we can assume that. And then when these are billed, is there a yearly billing run on these or invoicing run?
No, there's no monetary exchange for these inspections.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of go ahead and take off when do they expire. Just note that they do not expire. These are no monetary on these.
We renew them before January 1st of each, so usually every November we'll start the inspection.
Oh, okay. So it's just a yearly inspection, no fees, because we mostly keep track of regular inspections based on for the AR system.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then we should be good there. That one I don't have any more questions on.
Okay. And I'm sorry because I was late. Who is the man that is talking that was answering Jeff?
Andrew?
Andrew?
Yes.
Okay. Andrew, do you have any more questions on here, or just kind of, I know it might look like a little jumbly, but do you have any questions? Some of these are kind of straightforward here. We're going everything above the red line. We are putting some notes on that and down here, but this is kind of internal for us to use too. These are items that we actually need to make our program work. So does everything look, is a quick glance?
When you say license number, I mean, what is that?
That would be your permit number, or your establishment number, depending on how you would go. What do you normally work with on that?
Well, typically we just have them just by their name, but again, if your system gives them a license number, I mean, it doesn't matter to us.
Okay. Jeff, how did you want me to note this?
All our establishments have an actual number assigned. So
Okay.
if you want to start, we usually start it out with the county number -1234, let's say. So we can go with that if the license number really doesn't matter.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Just note that, Connie.
Okay. All right. Okay. What else? Okay, yeah.
Hey, Connie, hang on a second. So you have establishment number listed twice on our table. We can only populate it once. So license number, you have it for license number twice. You have it up at the top, and then you have it in row 7 also.
Okay.
So what I think is the license number in the conversion should go to the permit number table, to the permit number on that table, not the EST number. The EST number, since Andrew's saying they don't really have a numbering scheme and it doesn't matter to them, we can just we'll just get sequential numbers out there for them, and because you'll be able to search for establishments by name, by numbers once you get accustomed to our numbering scheme, but you'll also be able to search by the permit number, which initially will be your current license number.
Okay, sounds good.
So take the EST number off the end of that right there. Okay.
One of them should be EST number.
Wait a minute. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, that's not. That still has to stay EST number there.
Jeez. Okay, got a little.
Yeah. And then put your note, use standard CDP EST formatting, put that note up on the second line.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mean to nitpick and drag this out, but the EST number actually should show up in the bottom, Connie, the additional fields to update, because we're not going to be bringing over an establishment number per se from their table. So just that license number there can come out.
So we're going to put this one down.
I'll leave the conversion alone.
Well, no, Jeff,
number.
do you want that license number in the conversion ID?
Yeah.
Isn't the conversion ID a numeric field?
It's if there's no record number, we need to have it there somehow, so we could strip out the actual physical. There's, I think, a CR at the beginning of the.
It's CL dash number, but
yeah, we should be able to use that number. We just need a reference so that if we have to go back,
okay.
we can work with that. Connie, put that lower. Line 4 should be under additional fields to update.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not putting their license number there.
Okay.
So basically that row 4 you can delete.
Okay. Looking good, guys. We'll do a save. Computer keeps raising up.
It'd be quicker if you just saved local copies of these instead of trying to go out to SharePoint, because we don't really need them. Well, yeah, I guess we do need them there. I was going to say on a cloud site, but
well, there's something going on with my computer today, because I was having problems with this too earlier, with just even contacting SharePoint. And it's contacting the server right now.
just save it locally.
We are going to save it right on my desktop. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me save it at the end. It will give me warnings. Okay, it did save it. Okay. I do see it on my desktop. Okay. All right, we're moving on, guys. Sorry. Oh, okay, here comes the next one, school inspections. Again, we have over here Jeff. Ask for you to come on in here. I'm assuming it's going to be the same as the malt beverage one. But Andrew, do we have the when do they expire? Is it just a yearly type of thing, or?
Yeah, it's every fall we do these. There's no billing or anything associated with them.
Okay. The only real question, the inspection date that's on your tables, that's the last time it was inspected, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do not have a field on our system for that. We have a next inspection and a follow-up inspection date. So we'll put that field into the comment area with a note for you that it was last inspected.
Yeah, we typically on those don't do follow-up inspections.
Right. Okay.
Andrew, is that going to work for you guys, though, if we just put the inspection date into a comment section there is another alternative. That would be a little bit more complicated, but we could, using the inspection date, we could just manufacture an inspection record with just the minimal information of inspection date, maybe just put them all out there as like a type routine or something.
Okay. I don't
Jeff, would that complicate things much here? It would, we'd have to make sure all the required fields are covered. But I think at least if we did that going forward, then they would be able to view that, at least see that inspection that it was done in the history, where the inspections are going to go once they're, the next batch of inspections once they're entering into our system. Because
I don't think that would cause too much of a problem, but we might have like a sanitarian number might be required on that. Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to get to all that information. Hey, Andrew, which reminds me, did Mike Peth ever send you guys out a site assessment form where you listed the number of users that you're going to need, both in terms of the web-based side, and that would be any of your inspectors plus any clerical and admin people, and then like the number of mobile users you're going to have. There's some other information in there. When we talked to Wyandotte yesterday, they said they did not get one.
I don't recall seeing one.
Okay.
Maybe if it went to Linda, maybe I haven't heard that, but we can certainly give that out to you, because really on the EH side of it, Tina and I will be using it. We'll be using it mobily. And then if we do the CCL billing, Tammy would need access, but she wouldn't use it mobily.
Okay.
I mean, and then if Linda had to be a user for the EMR side. So really, I think that's the only about true. But we can, if there's a form, we can certainly get that back to you.
Yeah, I'll follow up with Mike Peth. He's not in the office. I'll follow up with him to see if he has, if he's sent those. If not, I'll have him get them to you right away. So to answer Jeff's question, though, just for right now, who would be listed as actual inspectors? How many inspectors do you have?
It'd be Tina or myself. It'd just be 2 inspectors.
Okay. All right. So on the school inspections, let's see. I didn't have that open. I want to open it. Connie, just so you know, I'm opening their documents that they've uploaded to the cloud, and I'm keeping them open on my other monitor if we have to have for reference.
Okay. Yeah, because I can't get on there. No,
let's see.
My
here.
Internet Explorer is just down.
Okay, so on that, what I saw on the school inspections is there's the name of the school, the address, and then just the date itself. So would it, if we create these inspection records so as to not put a wrong name on there, what if we just create a generic conversion inspector? So that way you'll note that this was a historical inspection that was come on via conversion.
Oh, but moving forward, we can select who it was?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a problem.
Well, and once they're out there, if you guys want to see, I don't know how many there are. There's really not that many of them. There's 39. If you really wanted to, you could go in and view those, edit those records, and just then select who, the EHS if you wanted to, just in case if you ever wanted to actually update those for statistical reporting later, or and actually, you'll also have the ability to assign an EHS at the establishment level. So when we create those inspection records and we create your next inspection date, since like in this case they'd be annual, we would just calculate it out exactly 1 year from the date they were entered. It doesn't mean you have to go there on that date next year, but it gives you a way to kind of view your workload in our calendar,
Okay.
in the individual EH, just so you kind of just see what the workload you're going to have ahead of you. This way we can compute those dates, and if we assign the establishments, you guys can go in and change the establishments once we get them converted in, or put your name on the ones you do and Tina's name's on the one she does, and then that'll populate the calendar accordingly.
Okay.
And we'll go through all of that again too. I know I haven't sent you guys out a date yet. In our last status update call, it was requested to have another walkthrough of this because it's been a while since you guys seen it. So we were waiting on Roland. He was going to fill his one position he was looking to fill, and he wanted to get that person on board before we did that. So sometime in May, we're going to take another walk through our system, and by then we may have some of your guys' data out there that we could actually view. So we'll go through all of that again. So go ahead, Connie. I interrupted long enough.
Okay. So, all right. So we're pretty much set on schools. And then we're going to move over to pool data now.
Oh, sorry. One more thing while we're on schools. I want to get their form opened up, the school inspection form. Because Roland from Wyandotte asked if it would be possible to come up with one inspection template of things for you guys, and you could even communicate with him, or they asked me if I would send them a copy of your form, and I have a blank one here, the one that you guys uploaded to the site. It's really, really similar to theirs. It's structured the exact same way. I think just some of the Connie, I'm going to take presentation for just a minute here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you guys, I have, do you see your school inspection worksheet now?
Yes.
Okay. So they have it, it's set up identical to this, structure-wise. I don't think they don't have quite as many. They may have a few less check boxes, but what he was thinking, Roland was thinking, he'd like to see if you and them could work together to come up with one set of stuff for like the schools. I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of sending him a copy of your blank sheet here, and he was going to compare it to his. I think yours is a little bit more detailed, so he may end up just saying, let's just go with what you guys have. Now, I did tell him too that the inspections, I mean, these are going to be, if you guys really need to capture this information and they need to stick with what they got, that's not going to cause a problem. In mobile and in IMS, it's going to look exactly like the same page, but all this information here, everything highlighted, that's all table driven, and it's table driven by individual county.
Okay.
So if it comes down to it, yours can have this in its content, and because those inspection forms on the like on mobile, and then even in the violation list in the website of things, they're populated dynamically. So he's going to look at it. You may hear from him. If you do, I just wanted to give you the heads up. But if not, then, or if he says they're going to stick with the way they got, that's not a problem.
Okay.
So, okay, Connie, it's all yours again. Until I interrupt again.
There we go. I muted myself. Okay, I got worried there for a minute, guys. All right, so you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that would have not been well. Okay, so full data. We're going to move on over to full data. Jeff does have a couple questions. We have a couple questions on this one. We went over it. Jeff, can you go ahead and ask him about this to be loaded into comments? Otherwise, we're going to have to create a longer list of establishment types for them. Jeff, you're on mute.
Well, facility type is what is that exactly, Connie? I don't have access to the data. That's your indoor outdoor pools. Generally,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. I was going to
no,
say
go
something
ahead.
dumb.
Yeah, I believe that's the type of facility. So we can create different establishment types, or I mean, most likely, Connie, bring up the database for this. You have access to, or
John's in it right now.
Here,
I
I'll get
can
it.
bring it up.
I'll get it. Hang on 1 second.
yeah, I can't remember how what that structure was. So we're saying the pool type will be the establishment type.
So like the pool type would be, like indoor, outdoor.
Okay.
Facility type would be like a hotel, motel, or HOA, public pool.
Right.
We can send you that list if that's what
We can pull it out of here, Andrew. It's in the what you guys uploaded. So they got these two columns here, Jeff.
Right. And what I was thinking is we would have like a hotel indoor, hotel outdoor would be they're two different establishment types. Because it's always pool type is indoor or outdoor, then it would be separate establishment types like that.
And just so you guys can see what Jeff's talking about, I'll show you here real quick. So here's this county's list of establishments. They actually don't do pools. Would help if I signed on as somebody who does do pools, I guess. So right now, they just categorize them all as swimming pools. And then, so if we look at this one here, so they just have one. What Jeff was saying is that we would take your list here, and so like he said, there would be a let's see, a hotel indoor. Then you would, in this drop down list, you would see hotel indoor and hotel outdoor. We would combine them. So we don't have anything that specifies indoor and outdoor. We have, and the establishment types can be set up as many as need to be. Because the only thing we have other than the establishment type is this, whether it's a seasonal pool or not. And a Wyandotte uses the term continuous or year round, or no, continuous or seasonal. I'm sorry.
right. And that's how we use the pool type in our current app. We can tell which ones we inspect year round and which ones we don't. The indoor ones we do year round. The outdoor ones are more seasonal. So if there's a better term.
Oh, okay. You know what? So Connie, just mark that we will handle that. I didn't even think of that. That makes sense. We'll handle the pool type the same way we're going to handle Wyandottes.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, the outdoor pools would be marked as seasonal. They would have this flag set to yes.
Yes.
The outdoor would be, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the outdoor would be seasonal.
Okay. I just typed that in.
All right, Connie,
I'll take it back.
back to you.
Passing the torch back here, back and forth. All right. So I added that on here.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So then we're gonna just merge these two together.
Oh.
Go on, Jeff.
No.
No.
Facility type becomes establishment type. Or it will be just pool.
No, you're right.
You're
right, Jeff. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Is this correct?
The pool type is going to be the seasonal flag.
I don't remember what it looks like in the database. Is it just under seasonal?
You can just mark it as seasonal flag. We can get this.
I think it's seasonal, yes or no, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I think I spelled it wrong. Okay, so we'll get my spelling, anybody. Okay. So we have indoor, outdoor, and facility type. Okay. Okay, we have the rest of these. We have your addresses. We have your lat and your longitude, and what you're maintained by. This one I could put into the comments for you. I believe that's what Jeff was thinking about.
We do not have a maintained by field, nor do we have a number of pools and spas or portable spas. What's on it? When the inspection is done later on, you'll be able to record what the features are, whether it be pools and how many pools and spas. That's done actually at the inspection level in our system.
So you'll be able to input, if they have two pools there, there's a feature that you can put in data for the second pool and it automatically.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. While you're doing the inspection, you're going to, assuming that you're going to one hotel has, let's say, 4 different pools, you're going to do them all at the same time anyway. And if you're not, you're going to do each feature at the time you're there. But we'll note it how many pools or spas, portable spas you actually have at each facility in the comment area for reference.
Like a historical, right, Jeff?
Well, it's just for reference purposes, and they're aware how many.
All right. Okay. So we've got this. And then what about our expiration dates? Do these expire or anything, Andrew? Are they like the other ones?
We renew those every May.
And we do have a fee, an annual fee for those.
Yeah.
Okay. So May 30th or?
No, I have the permits expire April 30th of every year.
Yes.
Okay.
May 1st is renewal, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a license fee and actually a late fee. They don't renew before the end of April.
Okay. Did we receive the fee schedules from you yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, that's on the cloud site.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know if I put the pool as far as the late fees and stuff. We'll double check on that.
Okay. So you do have late fees on the pools. Okay.
Yeah.
Connie, note that also.
Late fee included if not renewed?
No, just put late. County does charge late fees, so we'll need to adjust the proc on that.
Okay, we good on this one? Did I get all of it, or did I cut out too much? All right, we're saving that one. Okay, so the next two, we got the letter templates, which we are not going to convert these at this time. We don't have any data on them. And also with the location disposal, we're going to do that as well. So those will not be converted over at this time. Okay, so now we're going to go into the sewage. We got all sorts of pretty colors going on here. All right, let me see if I could just bring this down just a tad. When you guys go through this, I don't know if I have scrolling enabled on here. Nope, I try to keep everything in one-page view. Okay, so for for your sewage tables, like again, this is going to be yours, this is ours, the blue. For the original owner, last name, first name, and middle name, we do not track these. Although we do the current owner first, middle, and last. What would we want to do with these? Are these, Andrew, on this?
Well, I mean, if there's no,
Let's see.
I mean,
Hey, Jeff, let me just, I want to ask Jeff, with it, one possibility, would it be, would we be able to create an application for the original owner just as a historical record? So it would be the same property, just a historical application that would have that original owner information in it.
Yeah, we should be able to. I mean, we could create a septic. This is septic. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll actually set it up as the application type would be like historical septic, so that we can exclude those from a report if we have to, but have a specific application type, and then take that information and we could manufacture. We should be
able to, yeah, we should be an application person. That would work.
Now, Andrew, as far as that original owner goes, do you need anything beyond that?
Well, at least in our current database, it tracks all the owners that we've had on that. Again, I don't know. Some of the reports, it's worthwhile to have that original owner, because if we don't have an actual address for it, if someone calls and we can find a property and we think this one matches up, but if they say, well, I bought it from this guy who built the house, that's kind of how we can tie those together. But some of the properties have 3 or 4 owners because they changed hands. I don't know how important that is, but maybe would that just go into like a comments table when you pull up the record, or how would you see the original owner?
Well, we could. I mean, basically what we'd have to do would be, you'd have that property is going to be the master record for everything. And then you'd have the next level down from that is applications for, and there'd be an application for any septic system, the original one that's put in, any new one that's put in, any repairs. So what I was suggesting was we create one that says this is a historical only application, and it's basically for the purpose of tracking that owner history. That would be one way to handle it.
Yeah, that could work. The only other information we keep with historical owners is the date that it was switched over. So I don't know if there's a way to incorporate that with the.
Let me see, because I'm wondering if because our option number 2 would be it's just for us to actually add a owners table to that as a module for that. Wait a minute, let me see here. Let me take a look at something here real quick.
I think on that the name is the most important because the date isn't always when it was changed over. It was just the date that we changed it. So I think we could have the owner's name would probably be the best.
Let's see. I just want to look at our application table here real quick. Okay, so let's see, type, date, owner information, applicant information. It looks like all the required information we would have, it looks like we would have it all. There's not a whole lot that's required other than, so if I create, I'm going to set up an example here. Yeah, it's if we could just create the you know what here, let me just show you. I think it'd be better if you guys actually see what's happening here, but I'm gonna manipulate something here real quick. Okay. Let's see. All right, Connie, I'm going to steal it from you again. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. They need to do this like screen and screen now, technology.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick one of their properties here, and I'm going to create, if I go to create a new, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. So this is the property. I'll create, it would basically look like this. Create a septic application. I would create it as, why did that not show up? Jeff, is there something I got to set on those tables to identify the application types as to, does the sort order come into play here? Do you know? Jeff, I think, Jeff, you're on mute.
I thought so. The sort order come in there somewhere.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because if you let's see
Yeah.
here, water well, actually it's closed loop well. So it looks like I got to be less than. All right, I'll just do it 39, I guess. Let's see if that. I think that code might come into play. Nope.
I think it's specific values of the code, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's certain values of the code. I mean, it was all designed under Knox originally, or wherever original back then. I don't think it's ranges of that. I think it's a certain value of it.
All right. Let me just make this a 20 then. Let me try that one more time. If this doesn't work, then you guys are going to have to use your imaginations for now. Nope. Okay, well, in this list, there would be something that says historical data only, and then we would populate, the owner name, and then what we would do. Oh, you don't have the date that it switched hands, do you, in that database? In your current one?
We do have dates in there, but they're not always accurate for when they actually switched hands, but they should be in there for a lot of them.
Connie, I'm going to put it back on you again. Let's see, so where does that show up?
Okay.
Okay, so we got the origin, first, last name, middle initial, and then where would that date appear? Oh, you know what, Connie? Look at the TBL owners. I think it is.
That's right.
Purchase date. Yep. I saw
John,
it
I
up there
think
when you.
that was the code field that was being used by that, not the sort. I think it was the actual code being referenced.
I thought I changed them both.
Did you? It looks like the app was looking for like a less than 4 or something, a small number.
Okay, so purchase date. Let's see. I wonder. It might almost be easier for us just to create an owners table and then just put that in as an enhancement to the system and owner's history. Tom, what do you think about that? I mean, it would be it's just going to be a list of owners with a foreign key back to properties, and then we would just have to be able to
We have to have
view
a
the
lookup,
history.
like we got to look them up,
Right.
like a large list selector and all that, where you can pick one and all that. I mean,
No, I think it would just be a button on the properties page that says if you want to see the owner history, and we would just list the, and then it can get updated. We can have like an edit screen or an add screen to it. That way we could put the data in there. They would have a quick view to it, and then they'd be able to add records. I'll tell you what, Andrew and Tina, let us kick that one around a little bit here. There's a couple different ways we can handle that.
Okay.
We'll let you know which one, but in the data that's in that original owner, we'll get that out there one way or the other.
Okay. I think that last way you described it makes the most sense for the data we already have.
Yeah, and it actually, and I don't think it'll be that big of a deal for us to put that in there since you're only tracking just the name and that date, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I was muted. Can you hear me now?
All right. Go ahead, Connie. Onward.
The purpose and the usage of the field, I mean, we see this, but we don't, the S, the T, the R. So if you could maybe explain these, if we could go down this list here, Andrew, Tina, Leslie, if somebody could go over these real quick and I could type in some notes so we could see where we could hook these up to.
I think the section township and
yeah,
range.
that's what it is. Yes.
Section.
Yeah, and then the T is township. Range line.
Range?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, okay. All right.
Connie, we have specific fields for each one of those.
Okay, I remember seeing them, right. Okay. acres. I don't know why this was not in here. I don't remember if we had this. Oh, we have this. I think my screen part thing is frozen. Nope, not. I believe acres is on ours too. Is it lot size? I think, you know what?
Which field what field
the
do you
acres. The acres. I don't know why I left this one blank. I don't know if it was a copy and paste because I was doing a lot of that with these and I missed it. I know we do have an acres in there, but I think it's on the permit. I don't have the database open right now, our database.
We have, let me see here. We have a lot size, which is a numeric field.
Okay, that's probably why. This is probably a please define. So it's just a standard, it's just a double then. The acres is a number in there. I don't have it open. So I'm kind of floundering here to see the data that's in there. The acres is, would it match up then to ours, John, looking what they have their double?
I'm looking at their database right now, the actual data there. Let me, what's the name of the column again?
Acres. I don't know why I didn't do this one. I think I forgot to add a note.
Not seeing acres. Let's see. Any well data, pin number, plate, legal description. We got the T, the SRT, soil type, address, city, state, zip. Oh, there it is. Number of acres. Yeah, it'll fit. They just they don't even have a decimal. So I'm assuming you guys were just rounding it.
Yeah, it wasn't. If it can have a decimal, it doesn't matter. But I guess our current database didn't allow us to do it.
Yeah, we'll put in, like I'm seeing a lot of it. It looks like they're anywhere from 0, just in the small batch I'm looking up, to 160. So, like, we'll put in 160 as 160.00.
Okay.
Okay. And then we got, I believe we don't have these, the subdivision, the name, the lot.
No, we have a subdivision. We have a subdivision
Yeah.
name.
How are we working with these, though? There's the name in the lot, though. It was broken apart.
We have a single subdivision field. We have a lot field. And we have a block and a section. Let me take a look, see what type of data is in there. That's going to be the key.
Yeah, I think that's actually probably what my question was on that, is because it's coming in as a text.
Okay, now the subdivision in your data file, it's an ID, so there must be a subdivision table. Did you come across one, Connie, in that when we?
Yeah, we have a drop down of all the subdivisions we can add as needed on that.
Okay, so there's the subdivisions, and on our, yeah, see, we have the subdivisions just as a text field.
Yeah.
Let me look at how many there are actually in the. I'm going to open up that entire spreadsheet. This will take a minute or so.
we're waiting for John. Is this first inspection date, Andrew and Tina? Just, I could guess.
Connie, which one were you asking about?
This one right here, number 14 on the grid.
Andrew or Tina, do you guys know what that field's for?
What was it called? Let me. First
date.
install date.
That might be it.
No, first installed it. I've got our database open now, but trying to. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. It's a short, it's a text file. So are these, do these kind of fall in line with the way, well, okay, subdivision date, lot, address, city, first. Yeah, I honestly don't know what that.
Okay.
Date. Yeah, if there's a, I mean, a way to open up the data, your data set, and you could look at a record, and I could look it up with you and see what's listed in that spot and see in our record what it is. I could maybe tell you.
I'm open. I got that open right now. So that was, what table is this? It's the one called sewage.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. I got to get up to the column headings. Okay. So it's first in date. Let's see. Well, it looks like it's a date for sure.
Yeah, it was a date.
It's got a timestamp on it, but I'm not seeing any. I've looked through the first 500 or so, plus 600, 700 records, just kind of eyeballing here. And the only thing I've seen so far, and I'm at the first 750 records, is it's either 0 or there's an 1899 date with the time of 0. The zeros is the. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Here's some. Well, now these are all. The only dates I'm seeing, now I'm through like the first 1,700 records, and it's December 30th of 1899.
Yeah, that could be from our old database. That could have been some. Actually, I think that's the first. I think on our old database it had a tracker like first installed date, and so if we did a repair on something a long time ago and we didn't actually issue a new permit, that might have been the date they put in there. And so when they drew it to their new database, if there was nothing there, I think he just had a code of 1899. So I don't think that date really has any significance.
Okay, so we'll leave this one out then?
I've seen it, some records pop up, it says 1899. I think that's just the lack of on the date.
I can tell you right now. Yep, the only two values in there are that 1899 date and nothing.
Yeah. But if you have an address of a property you're looking at, I can look it up and see where the 1899 date is and tell you what it.
Yeah, here's one for you. 2003 East 126 Road.
Okay, let me look that up. 2003 East what road? I'm sorry.
126.
Okay.
The city is Lecompton.
Compton, there's a happening place.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on just a second.
Somehow I don't think that was said sincerely.
It used to be the territorial capital of Kansas.
Yeah.
So it had an 1899 date in there. Let me look.
Hey, Connie, in your next one, that system type, we have a system type field on the application. We'll have to get their different values and create support table records because it's an ID field on our application. And they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 types that we have to set up in the support table.
See 1899 in this one. I have but I think it's just some code. It was just a 0, or he put in some arbitrary number.
Okay.
Because I have on there the owner, the original owner, the purchase date. He says it was 1900, 1/1/1900. So some of that stuff is just not, a valid number.
Okay. Hey, Andrew, before Connie starts back up again, I just want to mention it's obvious we're not going to get through this up to our 2:30 time. And I think if we even extend it by half hour, I'm not sure we're going to get through it. So do you guys want to go up until 2:30 and then we'll just schedule a continuation of this?
That'd be fine.
Okay. Well, you can go ahead and keep going. I'll start looking at some dates. I would suggest tomorrow, but I'm not in the office tomorrow.
Okay.
So.
All right. So system other, we got that. SPEC FTR, and it's a double, so it's a numeric decimal. Do you know what that is? Does that go back to historic data in the 1800s?
In the database, Andrew, there's only 0 or 1.
Special. Oh, okay. It's special features.
Oh, okay.
I remember there was an error in there when I was discovering that. So it's either, I can't remember which one it is. It's either 1,
yes versus no.
Yeah, yes
0.
versus no. I can try to edit mine and I'll tell you what the value of that is. So, okay.
And what was the special feature?
Either
For
the type of septic system, so a 0 is no, and a 1 is yes.
Okay, standard.
Yes.
Okay, so this is for a septic.
Like
special feature.
Like, is it a pump system? If it's a pump system, that's a special feature. or a mound system, that's a special feature.
Okay.
If it's a 0, then it's just a regular septic, gravity-fed septic system.
Okay. John, how will we get a handle?
Connie, I was just going to tell you, you don't need to type all those notes, because it's what we'll need to do is just set up a yes/no custom field on the on the septic applications for that.
Okay. We got this one. Okay. Original let foot and total let foot. Original and total, how are we gonna?
Yeah, that's like the original lateral field size.
Before everything takes place, before the application?
No, like the original is what was put in, and maybe total is if they added on or they fixed something.
Okay.
I'm looking up our application table now, Connie. I'll let you know what we have available.
Ours has original and current. I don't know what the total might be, the current one.
Okay. John's looking up this one for me. Yeah. Okay, so we got tank size, brands, contractor is fine, water type's fine. Let's see. Okay, you need a little help with these too. With these 3 down here as well.
Connie, that the 2 lateral field ones, those are going to have to be custom fields. We don't have that specifically on there.
Okay. Okay. Maybe repair perm 1 and repair work 1. I was trying to figure these out as well. And add 1, maybe the total footage.
Which one are you asking about, Connie?
They're all 3 here at the end. We got all short text, and then we have 1 double, 1 decimal.
All right, so I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 different possible values for the first field you got there, that rep perm 1, and it's added lateral feet, new septic tank, or other. So that could be a support table. No, we'll have to. That'll have to be a custom field. And then on rep work 1, it's actually this. Let me see, because it looked like it's the same values. Added lateral feet, new septic tank, other. I'm sorry. What I gave you, the descriptions there, that was for rep work 1, not rep perm 1. Rep perm 1 is a date, and it's another one of these that has either just 0 as the time and no date, or the 1899 date again.
Yeah, that's an old throwback to the first database, so if we did some repair work, those are some dates that were drawn over.
Okay, and then lat add 1. It's a pretty wide range of values, but they're all numeric, and it's
Right.
Let's see. So, what does the ADD stand for in that one?
Add additional.
Just additional.
You could
Okay.
add 200 feet to the existing field, or that's probably what it is.
Oh, okay. So is this so up above? We had the original and total lateral feet. This lateral addition, is that in feet also?
Yes.
Okay. So that we'll have to tie that as that'll be another custom field. And these custom fields, kind of, when we set those up, we got to make sure that we group them accordingly so they show up with, in other words, the lateral additional, that should show up, probably in a order with the original and the total. Okay. Andrew, is it okay with you if we get through, make sure we try to get through, finish this table here?
Yeah.
And then we'll pick a date, and that way we can start with a fresh tab on here.
No, that's for, I was going to suggest that just to get this tab done.
Okay, good.
Okay. So now on these, which are kind of what these were, work perm, approval. That's what I'm assuming when I looked at them and went through. These are more than likely, we kind of talked about this here, but is this what actually ties in with these up here on 30, 31, and that all kind of ties together?
Yes, I think if we issued like 2 repair permits, that's what some of those are, rep work 2.
Okay.
Is a continuation. I think in the old database there was a tab, I think, for like the second repair permit, but again, the new database, we didn't really have that data, so it just kind of.
Okay.
I don't know if
All
it
right.
may be too difficult to try to tie that together, but it's there, but.
John, wouldn't that just go in like we put on here, that for every, well, like we said, for every storage record, there may be 2 created for them. As far as, when you go through, you pick the property, you look at the records, that should all kind of just blend together with that data in there. So that should be taken care of.
You lost me that one. Are you talking about from Rep Perm 1 down through like the approval D2? Yeah, what we're going to have to do, we'll manufacture service request records for those. Like in the column that's labeled Rep Other 1, there's a pretty, it looks like it's just text because there's all sorts of different selections in there. It doesn't look like it would be a drop down.
Okay. Okay, so then we know what to do with these. And then on this last one, these user defined, we don't know what was going into these. We saw the information in there, but we would do these as custom fields on your application table. So that's what I'm assuming is just kind of like you guys were, there were comment fields. When I went through those screenshot pages, it looks like comments at the end. Is that what that is then? For each page or each section that you would fill out? More than likely.
Every single one of those user-defined fields, 1 through 6, they're all blank.
Oh, they were blank.
Yes.
Okay.
In the actual data that they sent.
Oh, okay. Maybe because we have one that's called property notes, at least when you look at our database, but I don't think that's what you're talking about because we have plenty of stuff in those. But
no, here's I'll show you, Connie. I'm going to take since this is the end of your tab anyway. This is where we're going to cut off. Let me go back to being presenter here. So on this one here, so here's user defined 1, 2, and so on. The choices, it's just blanks. That one. There's 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's, I don't know if that's something you need to check with the M3 guys to see if they didn't pull that for some reason. Now this Rep Other 1, is this maybe the one you were talking about, the property notes?
That's
Or is that more? Is that work done?
That was work done. Just in a
Okay.
from a text field from the first database. That's probably what that is. That was brought over to the newer database.
But so you were saying though that you had, would you say it was a notes field?
Well, at least on one of the screenshots of our permit or our user screen, you'll see one that says property notes, and that's just a text box.
Connie, do you have that in a different tab?
No. Let's see.
Free text.
Let's see.
I don't have it.
Well, let me see. Contractor templates, owner property data. Let's see.
I don't see anything.
Here it is. Property notes. It's in
there we go.
in the
Okay,
tab.
on property.
Property data.
Okay.
So we'll have to look at pulling. We'll pull those. That'll become comments on the property record.
Okay. Okay, I'll change that in there.
Yeah, I don't know what those other user-defined ones would be.
Okay, I'm putting in for all of them, define 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comments on property record. Okay.
That's a possibility. I just don't know what that's referring to.
Yeah. I thought when I was going through your sheets that that's what it was. It was those, like one would be that first page, two, you know, each, how you have each section on there. But I didn't know. So that's why I had to kind of either put it in the comments or, you know, ask you what you're currently doing with it. And then, well, the last one is a timestamp, which that automatically happens with us. So we know how to do that. And looking forward ahead, I just went over those last orange colored tabs, and it looks like most of it I could carry over from this first one that we're working on for wells for storage. There's just a couple of bigger properties. So just a quick glance. I know we're going to stop here, but a quick glance, most of it is pretty much done. I could take some of these as well. Property data is pretty much done. Just a couple questions. We don't track this one. We have to talk to you about that. We don't track this one. We could talk to you about that. And then service call data, there's a couple more. So that shouldn't take that long, as long as I could log in. Sorry, guys. And then the rest of them would be the green ones. So that would be for you guys. These are basically done. That would be for you guys to just take a look through them, how we were going through here, you know, on your own time. Once we go through the rest of the orange to just verify everything that, you know, that we have in here, or if there's anything that looks strange. You know, like I said, you could kind of figure out with ours what's going on here compared to yours as well. So, yeah, but that's it on my end. So, okay, it's yours, John. I'm muting myself this time, guys.
Okay, so to continue this, next week I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday afternoons open. Tuesday afternoon, oh, you guys are on Central Time too. Okay, so on Tuesday afternoon I'm good until 2:30, so I could go 1 to 2:30 again Tuesday. Wednesday I could do basically any time. I have the entire day open. Thursday I have from 11 o'clock on open. Same with Friday. Friday I have the whole day. So what would be a good day for you guys?
Tuesday works pretty well for me.
In the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. In the afternoon.
We can do Tuesday.
Okay. What time do you guys want to start? 1, we could start a half hour earlier, 12:30. I don't want to mess up anybody's lunch. I don't know what your schedule is.
We can do 1.
1. All right, I'll set it up for 1 to 2:30. We'll go for an hour and a half again, and we should be able to get through it this time because, like Connie said, the ones in green are ones we didn't really have questions on. So if you guys review it and you have questions on it, we can go over those, and then we'll go through the gap analysis, identifying. And the gap analysis wasn't terribly lengthy. The data mapping is much more lengthy than the gaps that we found. So.
Okay.
Do you mind sending out these updated versions?
Oh yeah, we're going to do that. Connie, you talking about the updated data mapping, right?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Connie, if you do you have everybody's email address, Connie, or do you want to send it to me and I'll forward it?
I'll send it to you and forward it because I don't remember off of that invite. So I'll send that. We'll keep it as you know what? I'll change this name. I'll put. You know what I'll do is I'll change this date here. I'll change it to 4/4. That'll be the newest version.
Okay.
Just so we don't mess it up anything in SharePoint or lose anything. Because like I said, SharePoint was giving me problems in IE. So.
Okay, so I'll get that sent out to you. I'll send you the link of the recording of this as soon as I have it converted and uploaded. That takes a little bit of time. And I will send out a meeting invite for Tuesday the 9th from 1 to 2:30.
Great.
Sounds good.
And if you guys want to go over it, that's fine too, like ahead of time, like because the orange are, you know what I mean? If you want to have your own copy and go over it, you could have it open while we're going over this then too. That would, you'd be like, okay, that's this. I don't know what your time schedules are. So that might be quick too. So.
Okay. All right, we'll get the information out to you right there, and we will continue this then on Tuesday.
Thanks.
All right, thanks,
All right,
guys.
have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.